just be friends," she said, after years of leading me on. So, I ghosted her, dated her best friend, and let her watch as I built the life she thought she could do better than. Now, she's texting me from her mom's couch while I plan my wedding to the woman who actually valued me. Hey viewers, before we move on with the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want more stories like this. Thanks. Alex, we need to talk. Lee's voice had that tone, the one she used when she was about to drop something heavy but still expected me to catch it. I'd heard it before, when she quit her job without savings, when she got back with her toxic ex. You understand, right? And now, apparently, for whatever came next. We were at our usual diner, the place where I'd listened to her cry over terrible men for 2 years straight. She stirred her coffee like it owed her money, avoiding my eyes. Classic Lee. So, she said, finally looking up, I'd been thinking, special, you're like my favorite person. But there it was, the verbal scalpel that always cut me out of the life I thought we were building. But, she continued, I don't think we're meant to be together. Like, romantically. A nervous laugh. You're my rock. I don't want to lose that. Can't we just stay friends? The waitress refilled my coffee. I wondered if she'd heard this script before. Lee kept talking, filling the silence with justifications. It's not you, it's just timing, chemistry? I don't know. But you'll always be special to me. I took a sip of my coffee, black, no sugar. Like the truth she was finally serving. Sure, I said. If that's what you want. Her shoulders dropped in relief. She'd expected tears, bargaining the same reaction she got from the guy she complained about. But I had seen this coming. Hell, I'd paid for this coming. The dinners I covered when she was between paychecks. The nights I spent hyping her up after bad dates. The years of being her emotional safety net while she chased men who treated her like an option. Oh my God, thank you for understanding. She reached for my hand. I was so scared you'd hate me. This is why you're my best friend. I let her squeeze my fingers. Last free favor, I thought. She checked her phone. It lit up. Oh my God, Jason just messaged. You remember Jason from the gym? I did. 6'2", tattooed, and according to Lee's rant last month, so emotionally unavailable it's kind of hot. He's finally single, she whispered. Like we were co-conspirators. Wish me luck. I raised my coffee in a small toast. Luck. She left soon after, already typing, already forgetting me. The waitress slid the check across the table. I paid, like always. But as I walked out, I made 2 notes in my phone. Cancel Lee's emergency key. Text Jess about hiking this weekend. Jess, Lee's best friend. The one who hugged me at a party last month and whispered, you deserve better, before Lee pulled her away. I smiled for the first time that night. Funny thing about just friends, they can be replaced. The first test came at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. My phone buzzed on the nightstand. Lee's name lit up like a drunk distress signal. I let it ring. The voicemail notification followed seconds later. Alex, I'm at Pulse downtown and my card just got declined. Jason was supposed to drive me, but he bailed. Can you? I deleted it before she finished. 4 hours later, my screen lit up again. What the F? I could have been stranded. I waited until my coffee finished brewing before replying. Uber exists. 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. I pictured her sitting in some diner booth, Jason's leather jacket draped over her shoulders, furious that her human alarm clock had finally snoozed itself for good. Jess thought it was hilarious when she came over that afternoon. You're really committing to this whole not her doormat thing, huh? She said, kicking her feet up on my coffee table, red nails catching the light. Turns. Special. Out best friend was just code for 24/7 emotional support hotline. I tossed my phone aside. Subscription canceled. Lee lasted 11 days before trying again. Hey, can you help me move this weekend? You're always so good at this stuff. The smiley face did it for me. Like we were still in some mutual arrangement where her emergencies were my responsibility. I replied one-handed while flipping pancakes. Busy doing what? Not lifting your shit. Jess nearly choked on her mimosa when I showed her. Holy shit, she gasped, wiping orange juice from her chin. Who are you, and what have you done with Alex? The universe, ever the dramatic storyteller, delivered Leah's karma in 3 perfect acts. First, the Instagram stories Lee and Jason at brunch, her fingers intertwined with his. Hashtag soulmate practically dripping with irony. Then, the passive-aggressive comments in the group chat about how he was hard to pin down. Finally, the 3 a.m. voicemail that made me pause my game. He special? Fucking ghosted me after I paid his studio deposit. $2,000, Alex. $2,000. I didn't respond, but I did screenshot it and send it to Jess with the caption, told you he was trash. The real turning point came at Sarah's birthday. Lee cornered me by the keg, her pupils blown wide from whatever pregame cocktail she'd downed. You've been so distant, she slurred, her fingers tugging at my sleeve. I miss us. I scanned the room for Jess. We're still friends, exactly like you wanted. Lee's eyes flicked across the room to where Jess was leaning over the snack table, laughing at something my roommate said. Her dress rode up just enough to draw attention. Why are you always with her now? The petty part of me wanted to list reasons. Because she remembers my coffee order. Because she doesn't treat my time like a public utility. Because when she touches me, it isn't transactional. Instead, I just shrugged. She's fun. Leah's drink trembled in her hand. You're being weird. Not. Swah! Weird, I said, stepping around her. Just not yours anymore. Later, when Jess accidentally fell asleep against me in the Uber, her vanilla perfume mixing with the whiskey on my breath, I didn't move her. I just texted Leah the next morning. For your information, Jess left her hoodie here. I'll give it back when she stays over Friday. The 3 typing bubbles appeared, disappeared, reappeared, then nothing. Perfect. The first time Lee truly understood her mistake was when her key didn't work. I watched through the peephole as she jiggled the lock at 1:17 a.m., her designer heels dangling from one hand, mascara smudged into raccoon eyes. Alex, she called, her whisper somehow loud. Open up. It's freezing out here. I waited until she started pounding before turning the deadbolt. The chain stayed on. Her breath smelled like cheap vodka and worse decisions. Jason fucking stood me up, she slurred, trying to look past me into the apartment. Can I crash here? Just for tonight? Behind me, Jess is sleepy. Spice drifted from the bedroom. Babe, everything okay? Lee's face shifted into something almost artistic, a Picasso of shock, betrayal, and dawning horror. Is that Jess? I nodded, keeping my tone casual. Yeah, like I texted you. The chain rattled as she pushed against the door. You're seriously fucking my best friend now? Funny, I said, adjusting the chain. I could have sworn I was your best friend right up until you needed a ride home from some guy's bed. She opened her mouth, but I shut the door before the excuses could start. The knocking turned into kicking, then stopped abruptly when Jess appeared behind me, wearing nothing but my college hoodie. Want me to handle this? She murmured, her fingers tracing my spine. Nah, I guided her back toward the bedroom. She'll figure it out. The real fireworks came 3 days later on Instagram. Jess posted a photo of us at brunch, wearing the necklace I bought her, my arm draped possessively over her shoulders. Leah's comment. I showed up within minutes. Guess sloppy seconds run in your family, huh? Jess didn't delete it, didn't reply. She just screenshotted it and reposted it to her story with the caption. Someone salty, their backup plan found a main character. By midnight, half our mutual friends had liked it. By morning, Lee had blocked us both. The final nail came at Kyle's wedding last month. Leah showed up alone, her eyes tracking Jess and me all night. She watched as I spun Jess on the dance floor, watched as I fed her cake, watched as we disappeared into the coat room for 15 very obvious minutes. She intercepted us at the valet, tears streaking through her foundation. You are supposed to wait for me, she whispered. Jess squeezed my hand and walked ahead, giving us space. I looked at Lee, really looked at her. The smeared lipstick, the desperate grip on her clutch, the hollows under her eyes no highlighter could hide. The girl who treated love like a consolation prize. I did wait, I said. Finally, sliding into the passenger seat where Jess was already sitting. Turns out something better was coming. As we pulled away, I didn't check the rearview mirror. Some ghosts aren't worth seeing. The first drunk text came at 3:17 a.m., the notification lighting up my nightstand. I didn't need to look to know it was Leah. 3 weeks of silence had been too good to last. Remember that time you drove 2 hours to pick me up when my car broke down? You didn't even complain. Jess stirred beside me as I silenced my phone. Her again? She murmured, like a bad sequel. By noon, 3 more messages had come through. I drove past your old apartment today. Jason never remembered how I take my coffee. Do you still have that hoodie I left at your place? I deleted them all. Then came the ambush at Whole Foods. She appeared in the cereal aisle like some emotionally unstable specter, clutching a basket with a single, sad banana inside. Alex. Her voice cracked like she'd practiced it. We need special to talk. I kept walking toward the dairy section. No, we don't. She matched my pace, her ballet flats squeaking against the tile. You owe me that much. I stopped so abruptly she nearly ran into me. I owe you? The laugh tore out of me raw. I paid your bills for 8 months when you quit your job to find yourself. I listened to you cry over every guy who ghosted you. I waited. Then why did you stop? Her nails dug into that overripe banana. The answer was simple. Because Jess remembered my birthday without Facebook reminders. Because she Venmo'd me for her half of dinner without being asked. Because when she said, I love you, it didn't feel like a hostage negotiation. But Lee wouldn't understand that. So I just grabbed the oat milk Jess liked and said, you taught me my worth. Her mother called 2 days later. I knew it was her from the 617 area code lighting up my screen. I let it go to voicemail. Alex, honey, she's not eating. She quit her job. I found your old, whispered under her pillow. I deleted it while Jess buckled her sandals. Ready? She asked. The restaurant was packed when we arrived, but I spotted Lee immediately. She was sitting alone at the bar, swirling a martini. She wasn't drinking. She was watching as I pulled out Jess's chair, as I kissed her knuckles, as I laughed at something she said, the sound carrying across the room. Leah's glass shattered when she dropped it. The bartender sighed like it wasn't the first time. We were gone before the mess was cleaned up. The last time I saw Lee, it was raining. She stood outside my building at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, mascara streaking down her cheeks in black rivers. Her hair clung to her face. Her designer jacket was soaked through. She looked like a stray cat left out in a storm. Alex, she choked as I stepped past her to unlock the lobby door. Please, I kept walking. She grabbed my arm, her nails biting through my sleeve. You can't just throw away 5 years. I peeled. Special, her fingers off one by one. You did that when you said just friends. The elevator doors opened. Jess stood there holding 2 steaming mugs of cocoa. She took one look at Lee and sighed. Babe, did you forget the O? Leah made a sound like something wounded. You live together now? Jess sipped her cocoa, leaning against the doorframe. 6 months next week. I watched the realization hit Lee like a physical blow. The math wasn't hard. We moved in together 3 months after she showed up at my old place drunk. 3 months of her texts, her voicemails, her accidental run-ins while Jess and I built something real. Lee's mouth moved soundlessly before she finally whispered, You replaced me. Jess laughed first. Then I did. It wasn't cruel. Just inevitable. No, I said, pressing the elevator button. I upgraded. The last thing I saw before the doors closed was Leah standing in the rain, smaller than I'd ever seen her, finally understanding what irrelevant felt like. Jess. Special. Found the wedding invitation first. Lee's getting married, she announced, waving the embossed cardstock. Some finance bro named Chad. Cute. I didn't look up from seasoning steaks. RSVP? No. She tossed it in the trash with a grin. Already did. That night, as we lay tangled in sheets that smelled like us, my phone buzzed. One final text from a number I should have blocked years ago. I just wanted you to know I'm happy. I showed Jess. She rolled her eyes. Reply K, and let's order Thai. But I did better. I deleted the thread, turned off my phone, and kissed the woman who had never once made me beg for scraps of affection. Some silences are sweeter than revenge. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.